Hey everyone, welcome back. And if it's your first time here, just plain welcome. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey doesn't seem to think that corporations are particularly greedy, which is kind of a departure from the typical Democratic rhetoric. Now, she doesn't actually use those words, but the fact that they're not doing something, that she says they all know makes them more money seems to suggest otherwise. See, Healey recently sat down with the New York Times, and somewhere along the way, the interview delved into talking about DEI. And we were fortunate because they recorded this one on video. That, yeah, newspaper using video is just still strikes me as weird, but I guess I'm just old. Anyways, the subject, DEI, Healy made the comment that, Fortune 500 CEOs will all tell you that DEI is great for the bottom line. And that is when the reporter has a very important question, which is shocking from, the New York Times. Let's watch the video.
Talk to any CEO, major, Fortune 500 company. They'll tell you that their bottom line, dollar-wise, does better when there's more diversity in the room.
But many of these...
That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's made us stronger.
Many of these companies, though, are ditching their DEI
and
programs.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
That's right. Healy is completely baffled by the idea that they are abandoning something that makes so much profit for them. Which, if CEOs are as greedy as every frickin' Democrat running for office has ever claimed, this doesn't make a lot of sense. But the potential answers for this really aren't that tricky. It's either they realize it doesn't make them any money or they're not greedy. One of the two. So something is amiss here. And really, the truth is that DEI doesn't really make anybody any money. Yeah, there are some studies that try to argue that it does, but there's really a lot of problems with these studies. A lot of these studies are really poorly designed. They have subjective findings that they say, yeah, see, this is proof DEI works. And then there's also the fact that we've have evidence that a lot of researchers are self-censoring. What I mean is when they find something that goes against the prevailing left-leaning narrative, they just opt not to publish the findings. So what happens is you may have tons of research that shows DEI doesn't work, but because researchers would catch so much heat from their colleagues and others, at the university, they just don't publish them. This creates a big problem in research, and that's a topic I can get into until I'm blue in the face, but it's happening. And I'll have a link down in the description, showing where I got this information from. But really, when you think about it for a moment, why would DEI make any more profit? The idea is not, something that creates better, inherently is about creating a better product or creating better processes or anything of that sort. It's about choosing people based on superficial characteristics like their race, their gender, what have you, as opposed to just finding the best qualified person that will fit in your team. Now, I get not everyone's going to fit and mesh with other people, and sometimes that can play a factor, but DEI is not about that. It is about giving preferential treatment to people who have been historically discriminated against previously. The idea here is to take the dynamic that used to be at play that everyone agrees now was wrong and flipping it to somehow right the ship. But really you're just, to bailing water from one side of the boat and dumping it on the other. It's not going to do anything. And so there's no way that DEI could increase profits. It's just not how it's going to work. Basically, what DEI really does is create an aesthetic. You want your boardroom to look a certain way. You want your office spaces to look a certain way. That way, if somebody walks in, they see a dispersed pattern of all ethnicities, all genders, all lifestyles, whatever. And you can, it makes them look like, see, we care. But when you go and you start doing things purely based on aesthetics, that's usually not the best option. The truth is that when you focus on aesthetics, when you're trying to get a look, trying to put up a particular image, especially one that factors into your day-to-day operations to such a degree, it rarely works out for the best. It's just not how the universe works. And that's probably the reason most CEOs are backing away from DEI. It didn't actually maximize profits. Probably created a lot more problems. You have to have special people on hand to manage this one aspect, meaning it costs money in the long run. And the truth of the matter is, there are plenty of qualified and capable people of all ethnicities, of all genders. And those people are going to rise to the top no matter what, absent actual discrimination, which is illegal and is still going to be enforced as illegal. With CEOs, this is something that's costing them money, and it's really not likely making them any more money, especially because a lot of times when companies show extra profit, we don't actually know, was it this other thing, or was it, uh, the fact that the market just happened to change the time they did something. That's another reason why the studies that claim otherwise are kind of problematic. And then Healy also argues that every corporate CEO, I believe she said any Fortune 500 CEO, will tell you that DEI works. Well, the problem with that is Elon Musk has been a critic of DEI, and he's the CEO of Tesla, which is a Fortune 500 company. That alone proves that what she's sitting there trying to tell the New York Times is absolute bullshit. Then again, she's a Democrat, and that seems to be what they like to peddle. The truth of the matter is, I get where she's coming on this. I get why Democrats like the idea of DEI. It caters to their base in a very visceral way. But companies are abandoning DEI because it's a nightmare. It really is. They're always having to focus on outward aspects instead of focusing on the important things. And that is, are you qualified? Are you capable? Are you the best choice for a job? The fact that Healy doesn't understand this is part of the reason why Massachusetts, you know, is a place you would never pay me to live. And it's why Democrats have been such an absolute train wreck in this country for the last 4 years. And now we're just starting to right the ship. And I'm not saying Donald Trump is perfect. There's just a lot of, he's done stuff I don't like, just in his time in office this time. But the truth of the matter is, we're finally heading in the right direction. And that involves getting rid of DEI throughout the federal government. If corporations want to keep it, that's their prerogative. But the truth of the matter is, it's not working for people. They're leaving it behind for a reason. Healy can't get that because reality is something that far too many Democratic politicians are completely unable to wrap their head around. And Healy's just one of them. Then again, if you really have a good grasp of reality, you don't get elected as governor of Massachusetts. Shocking, I know. But I want to know what you think. Why don't you go down in the comments, tell me what you think about why companies are leaving DEI? Is it because of what I said? Do you have a different take on it? Or do you think that they're not really doing it that much? Was the New York Times reporter wrong in her question? Did Healy miss an opportunity? I want to know. Go down in the comments, let me know. While you're down there, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, all that jazz. Uh, as you can see, we're a small channel and I need all the help I can get at this point. Um, and this is where you can come in and be a massive help to me. Also, share the video anywhere you think people would be interested. And tell me what you think. Right. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. I will see you all in the next video.